Hi, my name is Ron, and welcome to the Human Game. Not only welcome to the Human Game, but welcome to my very first episode of the Human Game. So, since this is the very first episode, and I'm sure other than the five people that have read my writings, pretty much nobody has any idea what this Human Game thing is all about. So, I'm going to try on this video to make it an introductory type video and give a little bit of a synopsis of what this whole thing is all about and a little bit of a history of how it came to be. And hopefully, by the time I'm done, you will understand what it's about and wish to continue on. So, what is this all about? Well, this has to do with the mind, how we control ourselves, and all the things that we're capable of doing as beings. So, how did this come about? Was back in the 90s, about 1992, I was being human, meaning I was caught up in the same dramas of life, the same emotional things going on in life, just like everybody else in life does, goes through the trials and tribulations. And so I'm not trying to make this like I'm special because I'm not. I'm just like every other person. So when I tell you the little story, it's just not about the, oh, poor guy went through this, went through that, because everybody goes through stuff and even worse things than anything I've ever been through. So it's just a story, and at the end, hopefully you'll get the idea of what this program is going to be about. So back in the 90s, I was in my 30s, and I had my mom and my wife both had terminal cancer, and of course, dealing with that. But then I had a job that I dove into 110%, creating a whole world of stress. You know how it is when you're trying to do your job so good and every single tiny thing's important and all this, and you're stressing out over every detail. And so with everything going on in my life, I overly stressed. I had a mental breakdown, basically. I didn't go crazy, but it turned physical. And the stress and the emotions of my wife and mom dying uh, I began to get headaches, really bad headaches, so bad that I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't continue my job. Basically, I broke down and quit everything and had to start over. It was at that point when I realized that it hurt so bad physically, not just mentally, that was mentally, but physically, I never wanted to go through that pain again. It hurt so bad. And I decided that nothing in life was ever going to be so important that I had to hold on to it so tight that I created that same situation in my life. And I began to practice that. And as I began to practice that, practice letting go of things and saying it's going to be all right, no matter what happens, it's okay. I began to learn so much about ourselves as human beings, how much control we have over our own thoughts and processes. And I realized all that stress, all that emotional upset, all that headaches and everything was caused by me. I did it. I created my own pain. And the more I realized it, the more I realized how much control I have over it. So I began to practice and practice. And then I began to write. And back in 1999, I think it was, I actually started writing and never finished. But as I wrote, I learned things more and more and more about the power we have of controlling our own mind, how we can control our own emotions, how we are in control of everything in life that has to do with us mentally. And that's what the human game is all about. The power of your own mind, of you being the mind that controls your own life, and uh, how to become a very strong person without all the problems in life.